Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of SportsLine. I'm Brendan Rigney and alongside of me is Jacob Smolinski.
We have a great show full of your LaSalle sports news, previews, and highlights.
So let's get started with some game recaps, Jake.
And the men's crew team kicked off their spring season on Saturday, March 15th against city rivals Drexel and Villanova. Only two boats competed in the event, both of them being varsity eights. In the 2,000-meter race, the first varsity eight boat clocked in just over 7 minutes, coming in behind two Drexel boats and a Villanova boat. The second boat clocked 7 minutes and 26 seconds, also coming in fourth place. The Drexel rowers handled the strong headwind conditions well, and taking home victories in not only the two varsity eight races, but also the freshman four race.
The women's team, on the other hand, had 4 boats out in the water on Saturday for the tri-meet against the Dragons and the Wildcats. The first varsity 8 boat clocked 7 minutes and 31 seconds, while the second varsity 8 boat recorded a time of 8 minutes and 21 seconds in a very spread-out race. The varsity 4 boat came in last place as well. The second varsity 4 boat was able to take the Dragons out of first place for just one event, beating Drexel by 1 minute and 15 seconds in the last event of the day.
And the men's tennis team suffered their third loss in a row after losing to Loyola 5-2 on March 16th. The only 2 wins for LaSalle came in singles play. Junior Deshaun Fennell won his match after winning the first 2 sets, and senior Ches Bernardo won his match after winning the second and third sets. Junior Robert Casino could not get a win after losing his first set in a close 7-6 final score, and then getting shut out in the second set. Freshman Brian Belico lasted all 3 sets in the match, but he lost his last set 11-9.
The women's team performed no better as they were shut out against Loyola on March 16th, 6-0. This drops the record to 2 wins and 5 losses. The only Explorer who managed to score a point was senior Caitlin Coelho in her second set during single play. Later, she teamed up with junior Celesta Smith for doubles play, but they were shut out by a score of 5-0. Also participating in doubles play was freshman Madison Gillen and sophomore Cecil Johnson. They were shut out by a score of 8-0. LaSalle looks to end their 5-game losing streak as the season continues.
Moving from the court to the track this past weekend, star athlete Megan McGlinchey competed at the NCAA Championship in Albuquerque, New Mexico, finishing out her senior season. She competed in the 5,000-meter run and finished with a time of 17 minutes and 7 seconds, placing 15th overall.
Unlike the women, the men did not have qualifiers for the NCAA Championship meet, but the run is not yet over. The men are set to start their outdoor season on March 22nd at the Big 5 Invitational, held at the University of Pennsylvania. The team looks to Alfredo Santana to put the crown on his final track season as a LaSalle Explorer. Santana won the outdoors last season and is the reigning Atlantic 10 Athlete of the Year. Santana is supported by a solid group of upperclassmen in seniors Vince Perozzi, Dimitri Gudis, Luke Arbuckle, and Zach Sullivan.
And switching gears over to the softball diamond, day 1 of the Coppin State Tournament saw the women's softball team take on a double team of opponents in Youngstown State and UMass Lowell. The Explorers were looking to extend their winning streak and did just that, defeating Youngstown by a score of 5-1 in Game 1. The Blue and Gold managed to get everything they needed in the bottom of the first inning, as the Youngstown pitcher had a rocky outing, highlighted by 2 hit batters and 2 walks. All the Explorers needed were 2 singles off the bats of Alicia Auden and Erica Rice to take the 5-0 lead. Auden handled the Youngstown batters during her 5-inning appearance, striking out 3 and only giving up 5 hits. She gave up 1 run in the 4th on a single to center field.
In Game 2, LaSalle faced a tougher group in UMass Lowell. The Explorers trailed all the way through the 5th inning after UMass Lowell notched 2 RBIs on a triple to right field. The run drought was broken in the 5th, however, when Christina Bescara singled to right, sending Allie Waddington home. Still behind by 1, the Blue and Gold entered the 6th inning on a mission. Emily Moran drove home 2 runs with a double to center field and was then sent home on a triple to right off the bat of Michelle Haggerty. Haggerty didn't have to wait long to advance as Megan Hodgson worked the count and drew 4 balls with loaded bases. On the hill, Alicia Alton managed to pick up her 4th win of the season.
The softball team's win streak came to an end on the 16th when they faced Mount St. Mary's. Mary Kate Scott got the start on the mound. She faced 24 batters in 4 innings, giving up 7 hits and 5 runs. Coming in relief was freshman Val Bueller. The rookie pitched 2 innings and surrendered 4 runs on 6 hits. The Explorers committed 3 errors during the 6th inning outing and fell 9-0.
But they turned things around later in the day against Coppin State. Megan Hodgson earned her 18th RBI to put the Blue and Gold on the board. Freshman Suzanne Swanicki singled shortly after sending Courtney Travers home, giving LaSalle the 2-0 lead after the first. Alicia Alton recorded the win after taking down 22 batters in just over 5 innings. Strong defense and solid pitching gave LaSalle the 2-0 shutout to end the tournament.
And the ladies weren't the only ones with a busy week. Baseball competed in 3 non-league games in 3 days. The Explorers started the weekend with an 11-9 win over Villanova Wildcats. Shane Hallman earned the W on the mound for the Explorers after pitching 5 innings and only giving up 2 runs off of 6 hits. The majority of the Explorers' runs came in the second inning, compliments of junior Kevin Conroy's 2-run home run to left field. Shortly after the ball landed on the other side of the fence, Cameron Johnson doubled down on the right field line to extend George Smith and Kevin Barron across the plate. Nova fought back in the later innings, scoring 2 runs in the 6th, 4 in the 7th, and 3 in the 8th. The Explorers sent 4 pitchers to the mound to try and combat the Wildcats' offensive surge. Luckily, Villanova's effort fell short of overcoming the Blue and Gold's 11 runs.
The following day, the UConn Huskies did not waste any time getting to work on the Explorers. They scored 9 runs in the second inning and did not stop to catch their breath, hitting 7 runs on Explorers' left-handed pitcher, Freddie Andujar, and an additional 2 runs on right-hander Craig Krug. Despite scoring an unearned run on the Huskies in the second, the Explorers really struggled to find their groove. UConn did not let up either, as they scored an additional 5 runs in the 9th against senior Dominic Skro.
The Explorers faced their third and final opponent for the weekend when the Hartford Hawks stopped by on Sunday afternoon. Sean O'Neill started on the hill for the Explorers and allowed 4 runs on 7 hits and 6 innings of work. The Explorers continued to struggle offensively, however, as they remained scoreless until the 9th inning. Their lone run off of the bat of Josh Savanicus, but it was not enough to overcome Hartford as the Explorers dropped the outing with a score of 8-1.
The guys took to the diamond again on Tuesday, facing a similar foe in Villanova. Cody Barr returns to cover the story against the Wildcats. Take a look.
Things started out pretty rough for the Explorers on Tuesday at DeVincent Field. They opened up the game with 4 walks, allowing the Villanova Wildcats to capitalize and quickly take the 3-0 lead. In the bottom half of the inning, Mark Williams drove one deep over the left field fence with his 2nd home run of the season. He tacked on 2 RBIs, boosting his season total to 12. Williams' bat stayed silent for the rest of the game, however, as he went 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. The second inning remained scoreless, but the Explorers tied it up at 3 in the bottom of the 3rd as George Smith Jr. ripped a double which sent Nick Tierno home from first. Solid pitching from Brian Mayer and Andrew Craig held the Wildcats back as they gave up only 2 hits in their 3 innings of service. Unfortunately, the Wildcats got the best of Tom Fazzini, the sophomore right-hander, in the 7th, scoring 2 runs. Nova sealed the deal in the 8th on an error by LaSalle's Joey Ravert, giving the Explorers their 16th loss of the season. The loss marks the first for Fazzini, who posted a 10.8 ERA after 9 mountain appearances. The Explorers went through 7 pitchers during the 9-inning game and committed 3 errors on the field, but they did boast an advantage as they out-hit Nova 8-5.
LaSalle women's lacrosse extinguished the fire on Saturday, March 16th. The Lady Explorers defeated the Liberty Flames 11-10 after outscoring Liberty 8-2 in the second half. Liberty entered the second half with a secure 8-3 lead, but LaSalle returned as firefighters and made the miraculous comeback. Rookie midfielder Tony Mazzetti led the Explorers with 5 goals and an assist. Other goals came from Caitlin Brostrand, Erin McCabe, Caitlin Fay, and Allie Ilgenfritz. The Explorers also traveled to Dover, Delaware this past Wednesday, March 19th, to take on Delaware State. 12 members of the Explorers found the back of the net, as well as 3 different girls recording hat tricks. The Explorers kept their foot on the gas pedal the entire game, beating the Hornets 20-1. This is the second time in program history the Explorers held the opposing team to just 1 goal, the last being in 2002 against Bucknell. Not only was the offense on fire, but the defense forced 31 turnovers. Non-conference play comes to end after University of California plays some East Coast lacrosse on Monday, March 24th against the Explorers.
Well, stick around. After the break, check out when Rohan Brown sat down with volleyball freshman Phoebe Cook. And when we return, we'll explore some headlines and check in with Steve Graham to see what to watch on this week's marquee matchup. Stay tuned.
They said I would die.
My doctor told me I had ALS.
They said I wouldn't live to see my kids grow up.
But their doctors were wrong. Multifocal motor neuropathy, referred to as MMN, is a rare disorder that progressively weakens muscles in the extremities and is often mistaken for other serious neuropathies, as well as the ultimately fatal condition known as ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease. But unlike those disorders, MMN affects only lower motor nerves and has no sensory involvement. Symptoms tend to be asymmetric and characterized by weakness, cramping, twitching, or muscle atrophy, usually beginning in the hands. Disease progression depends on the length of time the patient remains without the correct MMN diagnosis. With early diagnosis and treatment, most MMN patients continue doing the things they enjoy.
Cooking.
Gardening.
Spending time with my family.
For more information, please visit these websites.
Welcome to another interview segment on SportsLine. I'm Rohan Brown, and I'm here with Phoebe Cook.
Hi.
Thanks for coming by. Phoebe is on the volleyball team. Now, I understand, of course, your season ended. It's a winter sport.
Yeah.
Fall sport. What are your expectations for next year? Because I see you guys are getting in the gym already.
Yeah, spring season started just yesterday. We have practices from 6 to 8 a.m. And as far as expectations for next year, we hope to, come in with a strong season with some new recruits, some taller girls, and definitely make a wave in the A10 conference. So not so much maybe not, a streak of Penn State, but maybe go 500, just get a lot more victories than last year.
Trying to rebuild.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the past few years, of course, you guys have been struggling with coaches. It's been changing one to another. You have a new coach. Have you met her yet?
Yeah, her name is Caitlin Rimgala. She's from Lehigh University. She was an assistant coach there, and now she's head coach here.
And what is your take on her?
I love Coach Rimgala. She's definitely cooperative, and she wants to get to know us as athletes. She gave us a questionnaire to know what our expectations are for next year, what type of player we see ourselves as. And she's definitely someone who I personally feel that I can go to anything about, so I like her a lot.
Besides you, how does everyone else on the team feel about the new coach?
I think everyone is just happy to have someone who really wants to push us to the next level, someone who really takes that time to dedicate to us about skills and as well as off the court with our academics. So everyone likes her. Everyone's positive about her. Okay,
and what is your personal plan for next year to be more active on your team?
Well, definitely this summer, since it's a 3-month gap from now to August 10th, I want to make sure that I stay in shape. She's even given us a testing that we're going to be doing after when we get back to school, and we have to test our physical ability. So I'm going to try to make sure I'm in shape, I'm jumping well, I'm strong throughout the summer, and not just taking that off to do personal things. So maintaining with volleyball.
All right. You're a freshman. It's your first year at LaSalle. How has it treated you?
I love LaSalle so much. Getting used to Philly in general is awesome. Haven't been to a Phillies game yet, but I love that. I love LaSalle, the fact that our comm program is just definitely dedicated to giving us different tracks, and my track is comm management, so that's like the business side of communications, and I'm glad that's an option for me.
Right.
So.
What kind of occupation are you searching for? I know it's kind of early being a freshman, but do you have any ideas?
Well, I want to go get my master's in business entrepreneurship, but for right now, I just want to work in comm management, and I definitely see myself owning my own sports club.
Right.
So with communications, I want to be able to, regulate people and manage people, and then I'm going to use that to build my own business and do sports for AAU volleyball and that kind of thing. So I want to be director of that.
Okay. What led you to LaSalle?
I wanted a bigger city. I'm from Charlotte, and I wanted to go to an even greater city. I wanted to try the north because I love the snow. I think it's awesome. So I came up here and wanted just something different, and I like the fact that Philly is very diverse, and the fact that this was a Catholic school. I'm Christian myself, so I thought that was going to be a good environment for me.
Did you get any looks at any other colleges?
Yeah, I was being heavily recruited by George Mason University in DC, also a northern school, but they told me they wouldn't take me as a scholarship athlete, so I started talking to Coach Stever, and he just blessed me with this opportunity. So.
Okay. How is it that you got into volleyball?
I started volleyball when I was in 7th grade, and my parents didn't even know what the sport was. My dad just threw me in a camp, and then I tried out, and I prayed about it, and God let me onto the team, and I've been playing since then. So.
Okay. Did you play any other sports, or it was strictly volleyball?
I did track. I did track for 3 years, and I did 300-meter hurdles, and I think I probably could have gone far with that, but I wasn't in love with track. I really love volleyball. So.
What is your position in volleyball?
I'm a right side, an outside, and a DS. I play a lot of different positions because last year we struggled, so wherever you were needed, you were kind of put in that position and you just had to show your expertise there. So.
I'm sorry, you said right slide?
Right side.
Right side, what is that?
It's the hitter behind the setter. It's usually someone who is left-handed, which I am. The outside is furthest from the setter, and a DS is a defensive specialist, and they usually play in the back row, and they pass a lot of balls. So.
I have a question because when I watch volleyball, I'm really confused. There's always someone with a different colored jersey. Is that the defensive specialist?
That's called the libero, and they're usually the best passers on the team. So they're usually the person that uses the most arms and digs up most of the balls that are hit by the opponent. And
what is the purpose of them having a different jersey?
I think, honestly, just to identify that they're the best out there, at what they do.
Really?
Honestly, I don't think there's too much to it. But it does identify that they're the libero on the other team.
Okay. Do you have any rituals before you play each game?
Definitely like to pray. If I can go to scripture, I like to. I do a lot of jumping exercises. I'll try to jump rope or do a lot of tuck jumps and try to get pumped with music. So, yeah.
Is there anything you say to yourself as you're listening to your music?
I think for me it's no fear. Just if I have butterflies in my stomach or if I'm afraid, no fear. Have no fear whatsoever. Just go out there and play your hardest, and who cares how tall the other people are, how good they are. Just go kill them. So.
All right. Now we're going to transition to being more personal, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Okay, so what is your favorite Disney movie?
Oh, I guess I like The Lion King or The Little Mermaid.
I'm going to ask you again. What is your favorite Disney movie?
The Lion King. How about that?
One more time. Tarzan. What is your favorite Disney movie?
Tarzan?
Absolutely great.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
That's a great answer. I was looking for that. Thank you very much. Now, do you do anything besides volleyball? Have any hobbies?
I like to dance. I like to draw. I like to hang out with friends.
You draw?
Yeah, I draw pretty well.
What do you draw?
I draw with pastels. That's my favorite tool. And animals are really cool to me. I like drawing birds, especially. So.
All right. Well, it was great to get to know you. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Appreciate it. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Welcome back. Before we get into exploring headlines, it's time for our last men's basketball game recap of the season. Unfortunately, the team fell short of expectations this year as they lost in the first round of the A10 tournament to St. Bonaventure, 82-72. The Bonnies took the lead from the get-go and never looked back. Jarrell Wright tried to lead the offense with 26 points, a career high for the 6'8 forward, but his efforts fell short. Fellow big man Steve Zach recorded his 14th double-double of the season, which secured his place at the top of the leaderboards in the A10, but the Explorers couldn't bounce back. They ended the season with a disappointing 15-16 record. However, we are very excited about the next season as transfers Cleon Roberts and Jordan Price join the already strong junior class on the court.
And now, on to exploring headlines. Are you a big Philly basketball fan? The Philadelphia Big Five banquet to end the season is scheduled for Monday, April 14th at the Palestra. Tickets are being sold to the public. And this year, the banquet will honor this year's
Coast Guard.
Teams of the Year and Coaches of the Year, along with the Big Five Hall of Fame induction.
As mentioned before, the lacrosse team had a tremendous comeback win over Liberty last Saturday. The game was another example of freshman up-and-comer Tony Mazzetti. The A10 took notice, naming her to the Rookie of the Week after her 5-goal performance against the Flames. Congrats, Tony.
And over the weekend, she achieved second-team All-American status, adding to the numerous awards Megan McGlinchey already has. The fifth-year student is the second female explorer ever to earn All-American status. This has not happened since 1998 when Teresa Carroll placed 14th in the mile in the NCAA championships. Along with this, McGlinchey was one of 3 Atlantic 10 athletes to qualify for the meet and the first since 2001 to go for the Explorers. Congratulations to Megan and all of her accomplishments.
Another big congrats to senior Dave Durr. The swimmer has been named to the A10 Academic All-Conference team. Durr carries a 3.54 GPA as an accounting major in the BS MBA program and is one of only 10 male swimmers in the conference to earn this title this year.
Dr. G and the basketball team announced on Tuesday that they will be participating in the 3rd annual Barclays Center Classic College Basketball event. The tournament will feature the likes of NCAA powerhouse University of Virginia, Vanderbilt, and Rutgers. Tickets go on sale Friday, March 21st at 10 a.m. through Ticketmaster.
Sticking with the basketball team, the end of the year banquet is scheduled for April 16th. Tickets are $40 and include cocktails and dinner. The event will honor the winningest senior class in the past 22 years. For more information, head over to goexplorers.com.
And we are going in to take another quick break. When we get back, Steve Graham will tell you which game to watch during the upcoming week in the marquee matchup.
The environment and defend my country. It's like I was born for this.
Were you born ready for a greater challenge? Find out at GoCoastGuard.com.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Marquee Matchup. I'm Steve Graham, and this week we will take an in-depth look at the Lady Explorers softball team as they start A-10 play on Saturday against the St. Bonaventure Bonnies in a doubleheader at the West Campus Fields. The Explorers are returning back to the field after having almost 2 weeks off due to the Temple series being postponed due to weather conditions. The Explorers enter A-10 play 6-8 overall, with their last win coming in at the expense of Coppin State in the 2-0 shutout win in Baltimore, Maryland. The Bonnies currently hold a 3-16 record, with their last win being against our friendly neighbors, the Drexel Dragons. Now let's take a moment to look at the key players for the Lady Explorers. Both Suzanne Swinicki and Megan Hodgson are members of the class of 2017 are among the leaders offensively and defensively. Swinicki currently leads the team with a batting average just over 480. Not far behind is classmate and teammate Megan Hodgson, batting just over 420, while leading the team in RBIs at 16. Both these ladies bring a level of excitement to the field, with 2 freshmen dominating the stat sheet almost halfway through the season. Both ladies need to find a way to get on base this weekend while minimizing the number of stranded runners left on base. Despite the troubling record for the Bonnies, followed by a low player performance on the field, St. Bonaventure cannot be overlooked or underestimated. The Bonnies enter an A-10 play hungry for their first road win with the year and well rested for conference play. Freshman Kirsten Hicklin is expected to pitch on Saturday with a 3.76 ERA, followed by a 3-6 record on the mound. The Explorers need to commit to 3 basic concepts of softball on Saturday in order to secure the conference win. The Explorers need to hustle down the baseline on every grounder or pop fly. The Bonnies have been known for sloppy fielding, leading to extra runs. It is important for the Explorers to capitalize on their opponents' mistakes and hustle every play. It is expected that sophomore Mary Kate Scott will earn the start on Saturday with an ERA of 3.85, followed by a 2-4 record. It is important for the team to support her by getting on base and bringing home runs. Finally, it is important for the girls to take some time to take care of their bodies. Only halfway through the season, the cold makes it very easy for players to get injured due to muscles tightening up. The ladies need to stay loose in order to seek revenge on the St. Bonaventure Bonnies. Well, that does it for another edition of Marquee Matchup. Make sure to stop by West Campus on Saturday to support the ladies softball team as they begin conference play. As always, a full list of game results and player statistics are available online at GoExplorers.com. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you have a great week on and off the field. Go Explorers.
Training is about more than muscle. It's about inner strength. So I push myself. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. I train with the best, a team that shares my drive and commitment. We collect intelligence, guard our shores against drug smugglers, and keep our waterways safe, because our nation expects more.
If you expect more, maybe you were born ready. Find out at GoCoastGuard.com.
A diagnosis of breast cancer changes your life forever.
She told me I needed a mastectomy. I was scared, absolutely in shock.
But you need to know that you're not alone. There are teams of medical professionals, support groups, and therapists, and those who can help you plan for life after cancer. Before you undergo surgery for breast cancer, get the facts. Make sure you know your breast reconstruction options. For more information, visit broaddayusa.org.
We have a job to do out here today. To be a winning team, you have to work like a winning team. My team depends on me. And my team is 50,000 strong. Looks like a lot of work's going into this. This is what it feels like to be part of a team. A winning team. The Action Team.
Get in on the action at actionteam.org. Are you in?
Thanks, Steve. Be sure to keep up with us this weekend's sporting events by following us on Twitter at SportsLine LTV. We post game updates and sneak peeks into the upcoming show.
Also, check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/LaSalleTV. We welcome you to send us your thoughts and suggestions about the show on either website.
For Jake and the entire SportsLine team, I'm Brendan Rigney, and we'll see you at the game.